Can you Hey, Hearthstoners, this is Cragen808, and we're about to kick off the show match. We have three casters with us. I have Cora,
Hey
KDP
guys.
Nutters,
Hello.
and LBYS. So,
Hey,
guys, go ahead and introduce yourself. Where are you from? And also include what is your favorite hero?
All right, well, I guess operating under the ladies first. I'm Cora, in-game CG Songbird. I don't know if any of you guys have seen me. Maybe I played some of you on ladder. My Twitter is @CoraGeorgiou, but I'm sure you probably don't know how to spell that, so I'll put it in chat maybe. And favorite hero. See, that's tough. It used to be Druid, but I would have to say now it's probably Warrior.
Awesome, awesome. How about you, KBT?
Well, my real
KBB.
name is Chris. You see me a lot in the Vicious Syndicate chat pretty much every week, adminning pretty much the entire tournament. You can find me Twitter at KDPNew, same as my Twitch name to make it easy. You can also catch me tomorrow night. I'll be streaming up in live. And favorite hero, Valera. She's just so attractive. Much like our beautiful lady Cora joining us for casting
Oh goodness, you're too kind.
All right, how about you, LBYS?
Alright, I'm Matt. I go by LBYS game. I'm from the Chicagoland area. My favorite hero is definitely Jaina. I love playing all the types of mage. And my Twitter and Twitch is LBYS_HS. I stream almost every day.
Awesome. And another thing I wanted to add is LBYS is legend on all three regions. Or he did that last season, right?
Yeah, last season.
Also, Cora made top 100 last season, right, Cora?
Yeah, I actually finished at 66. So this first time is very exciting.
Awesome.
We're hoping to keep it up.
And Kitty Nutters is our high speed, official public face for Vicious Syndicate. He does all of our sponsorships, so he'll be chasing people down for sponsorships. He also advertises for us a lot. He's great, and he's also a great tournament player.
Why, thank you for the compliment, Summer.
All right, let's get on with the show. Alrighty, I'm just gonna wait until they start their game, and I'll switch over the overlay, and you guys will be able to see some Hotform and Kevin Cookies action.
Fantastic. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really good match.
And
Honestly, after watching last week's matchup between Kevin and Hotform, with Twitch's lovely decision to drop at the time, we should actually get a pretty good matchup. And starting with Priest and Paladin, I actually favor the Priest in this matchup, especially seeing the start with Deathlord in hand. I really think that's going to be difficult for the Paladin.
Really? I've always thought Paladin was favored just because in the late game, guys are better than heals. But I guess if the Priest has the stronger early game, then they could just out-tempo the Paladin.
It looks like the Paladin's going to be a control Paladin. It looks like he has a lot of heavy cards. He had Kalkazad and...
Yeah, but the Paladin's got a great hand. I mean, Minibot's great, into Muster on 3, and he's got coin. So if he can draw into the Quartermaster, that might be really hard to take care of.
Do you muster on 3, though? Because you've got 2 piloted Shredders sitting right there in hand, which, I mean, that's pretty much as best a 3 and a 4 drop back-to-back as you can pretty much hope for in a start.
That is true, especially against priests.
And you probably think that this Velen's Chosen is going to be going on this guild at some point soon.
Yeah, I would think so. I would, probably just Deathlord this turn, but I think honestly they're both off to pretty good starts.
Now with the piloted Sky Golem for Paladin, LB, do you think that Hotform's going to wind up running any type of equality? to help deal with this Death Lord, or is
Yeah,
that probably the cut?
I'd have to see at least one equality.
Okay.
I feel like at least one is pretty standard.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see.
Oh man, talked to Kevin about this. The shredder should always go in the middle.
Just in case, you never know when you're going to get that Direwolf Alpha
Or flaming tongue.
benefit. Yep, or
True.
Flame Tongue Totem. You always want that benefit. Ooh, Alkanai, if he can pick up the Circle of Healing
That'll
to go
be
with that
fantastic.
Alkanai, that muster for battle is going to get destroyed. But Hotform
Yeah, I think that'll
does
be really
have.
important.
Mm.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
wow.
Wow. The
So,
draws.
for Hotform's sake, I hope he decides to wait on that muster for battle, because otherwise that is going to get punished. But he does
Yeah,
have
definitely.
the consecration.
Oh, with the Mana Addict. That's actually pretty interesting. Oh, I guess if it had lived.
No, I've seen actually I've seen quite a bit lately. Mana Addict, since I think it was Hyped, had it happen to him last week or 2 weeks ago on ESL, where his Shredder gave him a Mana Addict, and he was able to pump it up in Rogue up to a 9 attack minion, and I've actually seen people legitimately running it in a Rogue deck.
Yeah, low budget, like Tempo Rogues used to run the Mana Addict if they didn't have Edwin, right?
And there's another one.
Second
Wow.
It could have been, in Hotform's sake, I think he was actually honestly looking for a Doomsayer right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Or
what
at least
happened?
3-2 potentially. It looks like Kevin's got a pretty substantial lead.
Yeah.
If Hotform doesn't pick up an equality here, it could be a problem.
Now
Yeah.
what happens, say, right now, if when Deathlord dies, that pulls out like Tyrion? Does that sway this hugely back over to Paladin?
It's actually hard to say, just because Kevin's board is so established right now. He would be able to deal with the Tyrion relatively easily. So I guess we'll see. Yeah, I think it could definitely give Hotform some of the tempo he needs to bring this back, but it's tough to say.
Now, Emperor Thorson is one of those new ones that literally just about every single deck is honestly playing. And I think it is probably the best card right now, bar none, in the entire game. I mean, it can literally drop. In LB, you can definitely attest to this because I've watched you play. That is a big pullout for Hotform, I think, with that Sky Golem coming out. Because at least it's going to leave 2 sticky minions on the board, and he's got the other Sky Golem in hand. But with Emperor Thorson, it adds so much tempo to any type of deck, especially like Freeze Mage. I know it adds a lot to Druid, especially, with getting combo down to being really cheap. Like, is it honestly, do you think, the best card in the game currently?
I think it's definitely probably going to be the most solid card that comes out of Blackrock Mountain. But I mean, Dr. Boom. I mean, if there's just no card you see in every single deck more often. But I mean, I think Thorson definitely in Freeze Mage is great. With Combo Druid can get really insane if you've got a big hand.
That Pyromancer was a good draw.
Oh, that means he's probably running at least one equality, I would think.
Yeah.
But even just with Consecration, he doesn't really need it right now.
But even if Hotform's able to clear this board right now, you've got to think you've still got Dr. Boom, you've still got Sylvanas, you've got Ragnaros coming behind, and you still have the Alkanai if you feel that much threatened.
Yeah, and he can actually remove the Pyro with the Light's Justice, which isn't something you see on a Priest every day, so that's pretty interesting.
I mean, Amaz did try to bring Blingtron Priest to be a real thing, but Ragnaros is just going to do so much work. I think he has to use the muster here, honestly, to try to fill up his board for Ragnaros targets.
Yeah. but I guess he thought lay on hands was a little more consistent. Got to try to get some card draw. Whew, but I don't know. This just looks pretty one-sided from this point on.
You know you're already eating 8 to the face coming
Yeah.
from this. And now Dr. Boom is just about an assurity. Yep. Honestly, LB, do you think there's any way for Hotform to recover?
Not really.
The long answer, not really. Well, Aldor at least reduces some of the damage. Belcher's okay. I still would have liked the muster play a little bit better, especially if you're gonna attack to try to heal up. It just provides so much more targets, especially for your boom bots. Also,
That's lethal. No, it's not.
It's 2 damage off, I believe, because you can Auchenai the 1/2.
50-50.
Oh, that came so close.
Yeah.
If that would have killed off Aldor, that would have
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been it.
very easy. Lethal.
Oh wow, even the zombie chow sort of seals it with the Auchenai on field.
The BM zombie chow kill. That's a card that I've recently seen go out of favor in a lot of the decks is zombie chow, but because of it regaining health with the reemergence of Zoo recently after Imp Gang Boss, which Imp Gang Boss, I have to say, is a great card.
It's
I think it does a lot
ridiculous.
of work.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, you've got between Implosion and Imp Gang Boss, I mean, you might as well just get ready to see 1,800 1x1s just strewn across your board all game long.
Yeah, I think it's really helped the Zoo reemergence, which is
So
interesting. It was gone for so long.
Yeah, and it's actually great to see it back. I mean, as much as people hate seeing aggro decks, and I'm not a huge proponent into aggro decks, I love the control matchup, the philosophical portions to it, but I think it's great to, just change the meta around.
Get some diversity back in.
Kevin went to Druid, so what do we think of the Druid against Paladin? And he does have an Equality, an Aldor, and a True Silver to start for Hotform.
I think swipe is definitely key in this matchup for the Druid. If you don't get it, it's just so easy for the Paladin to spiral out with the muster. But fortunately for Kevin, it does not look like Hotform has it right now.
Now, are you surprised that he just threw back Shade of Nexramas, especially on coin?
Yeah, actually I am. That's not something I would do. So
I would have kept it too.
I think so. And it's really surprising why you wouldn't. I mean, turn 2, you throw that out, and it just let it grow. Even if he equalities, that Shade will still grow.
I'm sure there's a method to his madness, though, so I guess we'll see how it all plays out.
This might be
mind
the
control
dream.
tech.
It might be the dream. Keeper of the Grove,
good
your
card in this
own
matchup.
zombie chow. Silence your own zombie chow to prevent it from giving your opponent health.
Why silence a Tyrion when you could just silence your own zombie chow?
Exactly. Do it, Kevin. Silence your own zombie chow. Assert your dominance.
You're already up 1-0. What do you have to lose? Except all of your dignity if you lose.
And the personal ridicule that we will all give you. No, I'm just kidding. You're actually doing a great job, Kevin.
That's assured no matter what.
You do a great job. We all think you're a really good player and everything, so keep up the good work. Hotform got his
Kevin.
True Silver out. But where does Hotform go from here on 5?
Would you drop the Aldor by itself?
Oh, now that you have...
Yeah, not with Harrison, it doesn't matter. Oh, wow. I'm kind of surprised he just threw the Thorson out there so quickly.
I mean, I could see if he had Force of Nature in hand and wanted to get it down, unless he's going to throw a turn 6 Dr. Boom.
Yeah. What's better than a turn 7 Dr. Boom?
Oh, there it is. Hiding all the way on the left.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute, why would he drop that? But yeah.
I mean, it's great value with 3, 6, 7 cards in hand, but I don't know, you kind of want to wonder, you're like, well, what if I can get it out for 2 turns? Then that's just insane.
And Hotform's response is probably going to be an equality consecrate for it. Or do you just equality and then run your own guys in?
Or just a consecrate. But, I don't know.
Do you risk getting your minions killed, though? Especially like Harrison, that could kill off Dr. Boom? Or do you run Harrison into Dr. Boom and then consecrate?
Huh. It's hard to say. I feel like both are definitely legitimate plays. Both board clear. With Boombots, of course, you've got a chance that your board's going to get screwed up anyway, so it's a tough call.
Turn 8, it's so attractive throwing Tyrion down on turn 8, but as we see in Kevin's hand, Kevin has not only 1 silence to deal with Tyrion, but 2, so even if Kel'Thuzad comes out, he can silence KT, which, did we see if Hotform was running a KT?
Yeah.
I believe he mulliganed it in game 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many cards come across the screen, so many cards, so little time.
Right, yeah. He's gonna play his own Boom.
Okay.
Right, so mind control tech time.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Unless it kills a bomb. Okay.
And I just got some really good news from our lovely host, Summer. We will actually get the opportunity to both interview Hotform and Kevin following the conclusion of the best of 5 matchup. So any of these questionable plays that we think from Kevin, we should really make sure to write down so we have some good things to grill him about.
Well, I know I'll be asking him about the Shade Mulligan. That's the one that's the one I'm really wondering about so far. But, well, that'll be awesome. Glad we'll get a chance to talk to them a little bit more about what they're doing.
So Kevin's got just his Boombot here. Wow. Interesting use of Savage Roar, especially without having any other piece in there.
Yeah.
Setting up
I
for
guess
a
he's...
swipe.
You have to clear the board.
So swipe clears and then just hero power? Or you're gonna drop the Loatheb?
Innervate to the Loatheb. Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I like it. Now in response to Loatheb, do you think you're gonna go Shredder or is this Tyrion time?
I think you Tyrion.
Yeah, I think you definitely... I mean, you need to be wary of the silences, but at this point, there's not... I mean, you just kind of have to hedge your bets and hope you get that game-winning turn.
Turn 10, double Druid of the Claw.
But we see that Hotform has a quality in his hand.
Aw, Kevin just killed the dream.
Aww. Darn it, Kevin. Why do you do this to us?
Wow, Lay on Hands is actually big right now for Hotform. Not only can he heal up, but it'll also give him a few more cards to play with because we see that Kevin doesn't currently have combo in hand. Even if he plays Druid of the Claw right now for another 4, Laying on Hands gets him 17. And we see there's currently 11 on board. Druid of the Claw would make 15, so Hotform would survive at least if he plays Lay on Hands, and it might give him some answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's going with the Healbot instead. Okay.
Oh,
Wants
like
to build up a
presence.
bigger board.
Oh.
That's a great swipe.
Yeah. Druid of the Claw and swipe. Or actually, do you Keeper of the Grove, the Shredder, and swipe? So Shredder doesn't leave any minion behind?
4, 8, 10, 14, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait, is that lethal with hero power and the Keeper? Or my screen is very tiny.
Yeah, right now Hotform's sitting at 3, so unless he lays on hands right now, then it will be.
Okay.
But Hotform also needs to figure out how he can lay on hands and clear the board. So he can't equality consecrate and lay on hands.
Mm-hmm.
Hotform has double quality consecrate. It's kind of clunky.
Ooh. So he's going to at least equality. Now, what are you hoping? I think you're hoping for a taunt out of this Shredder. I think you're looking for Unstable Ghoul or...
Frostwolf Grunt.
Yeah, I was going to say the little grunt. I can't remember.
He can be useful in these situations.
So he is laying on hands, which is the right choice. And we can see in Kevin's hands, he needs to draw an Ancient of Lore or some other draw mechanic right now because he is running out of cards and running out of answers. Savage Roar is good to hold on to.
Yeah, if you could build your board back up. But with the Equality Consecrate in Hotform's hand, that's going to be tough.
He's 2 off, I think.
You get 2 from Keeper. If you Savage Roar, that makes 4. 2 for the face, 5. I like the kill on the spell power at least. I mean, there's not much else Kevin's going to do. I don't see Savage Roar or Mind Control Tech being viable right now. But at least, I can see it as a board presence, I guess.
Yeah, throw it out there. He hasn't drawn Force yet. So, that he could just draw into combo at the game right there.
I wonder how many... We don't actually have their deck list, so I don't know if Kevin's running 1 or 2 copies of Force.
Yeah, you definitely see both. So, kind of interesting to think what he's doing.
Now, if Hotform draws Quartermaster next turn, this could be really, really a big swing turn.
Absolutely. And I'm assuming he's running 2, and we haven't seen either. We're pretty far into the game, so that definitely could be a reality.
Oh, Kevin, don't Savage Roar. Don't even hover over that card right now.
Oh.
See, I think
there's no point in playing this.
Oh, double land.
Wow, double land hands.
Is actually really, really good for Hotform.
Piloted Sky Golem, and now he can actually clear off the Shredder and not leave anything behind. Silence Shredder and just run in your 3 dudes. Well, Kevin, Force of Nature or bust.
Even then, he's 1 off.
Hey, there's that Shade of Noxramas that we all thought he should have kept originally and decided to throw away. Let's see, we're on turn 15 right now, so Shade of Noxramas would be a 17-17 currently.
Consecrate the Shade. 17-17. I think the game might have gone just a little bit differently.
Right now, if you're Kevin, he's sitting at 14, so you literally are Force of Nature or bust. Or Ancient of Lore can buy you some time to draw. Oh, Wrath will let you draw.
1.
Alright.
But you're also pretty low against Thorson on board.
Oh, Scenario.
Play.
The tease. Now let's see.
That would have been really nice instead of the Wrath.
If Kevin could have stolen Emperor Thorazon right the turn before and gotten Cenarius and then put Cenarius out with his 2/2s on the side. Okay, now we're just letting the imagination run wild. Okay,
I don't know how many cards he has left, but...
Force of Nature or bust.
Yep. Here we go.
We got a well played coming from Kevin.
And,
it's Wild Growth.
Wild Growth. You're about, 18 turns late.
And that is the first one he drew all game.
Hey, there's the Ancient of Lore. Woo!
Heal for 5, concede.
Draw. See what you're going to get. And you still no Force of Nature.
Oh, God. He's probably only running 1 then.
I was going to say, so what's the best form of BM right now for Hotform? So, Kevin's Priest is out, and Hotform's
Paladin.
On that matchup, where do you think that Kevin went wrong? Because it looked like he started out pretty well, and then it just looked like his whole board just, disappeared.
Paladin kind of does that with Eldor. His 5-drop will trade with your 5-drop and only lose 1 health. And then you have the board, and the Druid has a hard time getting it back.
Yeah, I think when he was able to trade the Harrison without losing it,
Yeah.
that was definitely a big tempo swing. And he was sort of just able to build off from there.
Oh, that's actually a really great opening hand from Hotform. Zombie Chow, Wild Growth, Shade of Naxxramas, and you still get to keep the coin. Kevin's got a pretty good opener himself, though. Innervate turn 1 for a Shade.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
Kevin's going to need Wild Growth, otherwise he's going to be sitting a turn behind the whole way through.
Mhm.
And I guess Hotform's running more of a traditional ramp with the Ancient of War.
Yeah, so he probably runs KT no combo, I would think.
Do you think Hotform might be running Nourish?
Yeah, it's a
That's a
possibility.
good question.
I've seen that a lot.
I think it was who was the first one I saw? I think it was Dog last season. I was watching had Senjin Shield Master and then ran Nourish, and then all of a sudden Life Coach saw either it can draw 3 or it can gain you mana crystals, and ever since then I have seen Nourish in every single Druid deck from Life Coach.
Yeah, I mean it's just a very versatile card. I think it's definitely a solid option.
So if Kevin waits till next turn, he can innervate out an Ancient of Lore, draw some cards. Or do you wait till turn 6 and innervate out Ragnaros and just let him go to work? Now, if you Wrath for 3, it's still 2, so you're still going to have to either trade your Shade,
Or
or
wait
you're
till
going to have
next
to
turn.
innervate out Keeper to do 2 damage to Senjin Shield Master and clear that off.
I feel like ideally, based on curve, you would want to innervate the Rag on 6 just so you could play the lore on 7. But at that point, he might be too far behind.
I don't
So,
like trading your Shade right there. I really didn't like him trading that Shade. Because
yeah,
at
it
least
just.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say it sets him behind even more.
Yeah, I mean, Hotform Shade is just going to continue to grow right now, and Kevin has no board presence, so he's going to innervate out the Ancient of Lore. But I still like your play more on innervating Ragnaros on 6, because it may be able to snipe off that Shade even before Hotform gets an attack in on it. Oh, there's the Keeper. Do it, Hotform. Silence your Zombie Chow.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to do that.
It will happen by the end of this show match. Yeah, most likely not. We can dream.
When is who's gonna run Murloc Zoo between Hotform and Kevin? I want to see it. Murloc Zoo.
Oh, that's definitely Kevin. It's got to be.
Old Murloc.
I lost to that on stream the other day.
Actually, that's where I saw it from, so that's why I was like,
Yeah.
somebody's got to do it. So turn
But
6
can you
for
even
Kevin.
be mad?
No, absolutely not. Kevin, show you are going to win this. Silence his Zombie Chow, so just telling him you don't need the health.
Yeah.
Show your dominance.
I guess you have to loath it.
I just want to see it. Somebody silence your own Zombie Chow. But
All right. Looks like Thorazon's going to be getting even more value comboed with the Ancient of Lore, 2 more cards in hand. That's getting kind of crazy.
do you like the Ancient of Lore there, or do you like Ancient of War to kind of protect your Thorazon to let it sit there for a while?
It's a tough call, but I feel like since you're knowing you're going to get even more value out of the Thorazon, no matter what, especially with the lore draws, I think it's an okay call either way.
Okay. Yeah, it was one of those like debatable questions that I'm like, which one actually would be better?
Mm-hmm.
+2,
Yeah, I feel
+2. Go for it, Hotform. Aw. Nothing like a 4/5 Zombie Chow staring at your Ancient of Lore.
like
Well, there's Kevin's Emperor. Kevin's got a really
unfortunately,
full hand, but he just can't do anything.
he just can't seem to push the tempo back.
right now, Kevin's facing down 10, 14, 16 damage on board. So there's lethal on board right now. So Kevin has to pretty much clear
Either
some of this out at least.
Keeper the 2/2s or YOLO Reg for Cenarius. Druid of the Claw, possibly. Plus
You
shade,
charging
but
Druid of the Claw, or are you taunting it? And Kevin's gonna go YOLO Rag. Let's see what you got. It's a golden rag, so he should snipe what Kevin wants.
ideally. And Faith's was the opposite of what Kevin wanted.
I was gonna say, I don't think. And Kevin conceded, even though Hotform didn't actually have the damage in hand to beat him.
I think he did.
5, 10, 12.
He had
swipe in hand.
9 from hand.
Oh, he did have swipe in hand? I must have missed the swipe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was on the edge. It's hard to see.
So Hotform's now up 2-1 in the series. So if you're Kevin and you've just seen your Druid go down twice in a row, are you bringing that back out for a third time? Or are you going to your third deck?
I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to win with the Druid against this deck regardless if you want to take the series.
It's Zoo. Kevin has officially brought back Zoo.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I think a little piece of every control player just died.
But you know what? It's Kevin. He played super aggro Druid against me, so you know what? I'm not really surprised.
And Hotform has, it looks like the traditional Shaman. Now, you've got to believe that Hotform has Lava Shock in here.
Oh, I would hope so. I haven't actually gotten to see that in tournament play yet, so that'll be exciting.
Oh, there's the Magic Imp Gang boss. Everybody get ready. Lots of imps.
Such a good card.
For that Searing Totem that's going to pop up repeatedly for Hotform, and Kevin's just going to keep running that Imp Gang boss into it all match long.
Give me all those 1/1s. Implosion, that'll be great.
Just in time for Hotform to let him have 1,800 1/1s if he wants to, just in time to Lightning Storm all of them.
Crushing dreams, one lightning storm at a time.
I'd love to see Kevin's face on that. So, as Zoo right now, Kevin's off to the hot start, which, as Zoo, you're supposed to. The double Void Caller, or Void Walker, excuse me, bode well, especially if you can keep Hotform from getting any type of spell damage out, because at least it's harder to roll the 3 on the Lightning Storm. But with Zombie Chow and with Haunted Creeper, Hotform's just going to wear down his minions and try to make room for himself.
Yeah. So this is where last turn you should have put the Abusive Sergeant in the middle, because you want to buff that Direwolf.
So that's
true. That's definitely a placement error.
So that's the second, I think the second one. Kevin was the one that misplaced the Pilot and Shredder last time, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and it's small mistakes, but it's things like this that sort of add up and can throw off your plays.
Zoo placement is huge because you always want that buff off of that Direwolf on exactly the 2 targets that you want. And I don't think Kevin's ideal 2 targets for a buff is to stick it in between his Void Callers, because you want the Void Walker value to be on both of them, and then you can use your Abusive Sergeant, rush it into whatever, and then you still get the buff on the Void Walkers.
Yeah.
So, turn 3 for Hotform right now. He's not really feeling threatened too much. Kevin has 2 cards in hand. You know it's Zoo. I think you probably Totem, and then just run your Creeper into that 1/1 Void Walker.
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially with Lightning Storm, if he can manage to clear Kevin's board and Kevin just can't get back, I think the Shaman will sort of have an easy way to the end of the game from there.
Imp Gang boss against the world.
Going to be doing some work here. Oh, Juggler's great, especially with Implosion.
Do you juggle in Direwolf Alpha here? Try to pick off one of the 1/1s? He's going to try it. And man, is Kevin about to be punished.
Yeah, Lightning Storm's
Kevin,
going to hit hard here.
Punished.
Eh,
It's something you always have to be afraid of.
If Hotform could make a really good read right now and just decides to go like Flame Tongue and taunt or play the Shredder, you know Kevin's going to implode next turn. And can you
yeah,
imagine
Lightning
that?
Storm. It's actually not that good here. It's not gonna clear the board really. The Imp
Oh,
King
here's the
is just
Shredder.
gonna get a bunch of 1/1s. I like Shredder.
Oh, true. Imp Gang Boss is kind of resilient to Lightning Storm without
Yeah.
spell power.
He would end up with a 2/2 or 2/1 and a couple 1/1s.
And Kevin curves out perfectly with an Implosion and a Clockwork Gnome.
Yeah, it's a
I
nice
think
draw.
100% next turn, and LB, correct me if you think something different. I think 100% we're about to see a Lightning Storm from Hotform.
Yeah.
Oh, and spell damage.
Okay.
Wow.
So you run the Direwolf into that after attacking.
Yeah, you don't want to leave that spell damage up, because the last thing you want to see is your Imp Gang Boss go right down. Well, we know Kevin's right hand is working as he's going face with Zoo.
But do you hit with the Imp Gang Boss, or do you hit with the Direwolf?
I kill my Direwolf. I keep my Imp Gang Boss at 4 health to try to
Yeah.
make it resilient to the Lightning Storm.
I think that's definitely the better choice.
Double
Oh,
Lightning
but there's a
Storm.
second one.
Spell Power Totem. Boom.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
Okay, this is pretty big.
Oh, let's see.
Ooh.
I rolled a 3. Okay.
Roll low. So you didn't get an Imp because his board was full, I guess?
That's right, because the Imp triggers first. I learned this when I was playing Druid against it the first time, and I swiped. And after an implosion, and I'm like, oh, this should clear everything right off. No, my swipe happens, and then magically here's my Imp, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, what? Why is this Imp dying?
Where did my Imp go? Okay, Flame Tongue's good, just clearing up some stuff.
An Imp Gang is probably going to kill that Flame Tongue. I can't imagine it going anywhere else.
Yeah.
So Kevin's going to be looking, I think, for Doomguard in the next couple of turns. He wants something as like a big threat.
Yeah, definitely. He's got to start pushing for damage, or Hotform's just going to completely wipe the board and start controlling this game.
And Kevin gets his Creeper silenced, and that should potentially clear his board. The only thing that may remain is... Oh, so he got the...
Lived.
That's actually pretty good, but that Mana Tide could draw a lot for Hotform right now. And he has the Defender of Argus in hand to just bolster them up and kill both of them.
Yeah, if you're Kevin, you definitely don't want to waste 3 damage clearing that Mana Tide.
Ooh. I don't like throwing away Juggler right there. As much as you get Hotform down to 2 right now, I still...
Yeah.
Are Z-Decks running Dark Bombs?
Some are. I usually see 1 if they run one at all. Although I've recently seen a resurgence in Soulfire.
Really?
And I'm like, I still think the Dark Bomb value of not having, but in Zoo, what are you doing? You're emptying your hand out, so you're left with, Soulfire in hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I think it'd be pretty cool to see that coming back. Right, Dark Iron's pretty good. It's a good body.
But we also see Hotform has another defender in hand. Mm-hmm. And Hotform could roll... He's got Blood Mage Thalnos in hand and a Crackle, so that could do a lot of damage down to Kevin. I wonder if Hotform runs an antique heal bot.
I would think so. At least one. It seems like most of the control shamans do.
Okay. So let's see. If you're Hotform right now, you're definitely defendering. Do you drop Loatheb in Defender? Or do you drop Blood Mage, Crackle, and then Defender? And Crackle, Doomguard?
I feel like it's going to be accomplishing the same thing. And just because it's against Zoo, you're not super worried about spells. And even if you Loatheb, something like Soulfire or Dark Bomb would still go through. So maybe just make more taunts and try and clear as much as you can.
I like it. I like that control mindset. Unlike that dirty mind of Kevin playing Zoo. Ugh.
Disgrace, Kevin. Nah, he's doing a good job. I'm so proud.
I like the defender. I like it on the other defender. You're trying to bolster your board as much. I actually like that he went for the Dark Iron Dwarf. He made sure he guaranteed a kill on something.
Yeah.
Ooh, power overwhelming. Do you really power overwhelm right now?
I guess just to clear the defender.
And now Kevin's down to 12, and you've still got one
3, 4, 5,
taunt
6,
in the
7,
way.
8. Yeah, Hotform's got 8. But he might have to clear. He's got to be careful.
Well, I think he has to get rid of Doomguard. 100%.
Although the Blood Mage is going to give him another draw.
Ooh.
Oh, and
I
there's
like
a
the
hex.
Do you
Yeah, that's
hex
definitely
your
nice.
own Flame Tongue Totem after killing off? Oh, he decides to hex Doomguard. Okay, I like
Yeah,
that.
just leave him with a 1/1.
So let's see. What can Kevin draw right now to win? If he draws the other Doomguard, that's not going to do it because he can't get through. Oh, actually, another Doomguard will win it because he can run the Doomguard into the healing totem and then run his
And then
2
2 to
creepers
face.
in.
Did the Argus attack already?
No.
It did not.
Kill off one of his spiders, hot form. Not that I'm rooting against Kevin or anything.
Also, implosion.
I mean, he might just
3.
he might just be banking on not having Kevin draw anything. But yeah,
Good choice.
I think that was definitely the right choice.
Aired on the side of caution. Iron Beak Owl, he would have lost.
Okay.
What a huge play.
He could still tap for a
ask
power.
Hotform. We have to ask Hotform what he thought of when he killed the spectral spider instead of going face, because that is a huge, huge play that just won Hotform this game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. I think at this point you probably hex your healing totem after you clear the board.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Although the taunt totem
and rolls
great.
taunt totem, that's perfect. Clear everything off of Kevin's board, but yeah, you definitely make yourself more taunts.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, and the only thing that wins the game now is
abusive
Dark
into
Bomb.
Doomguard.
There's Doomguard.
Wait.
He better play it. Oh.
Tap into abusive sergeant.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh, it's low. Oh. So Kevin unfortunately goes
close.
down to hot form 3-1.
He put up a good fight. I'm proud.
It literally came down to the very last point for hot form. Like, no room for error. I still want to know what he thought when he did that defender. So thankfully we are going to get the chance to ask them all of these questions that we've been wondering about. So we will give them a minute or two to get into the chat here and talk about the matchup. In the meantime, Cora, let's get your breakdown. What did you see that you liked in the matchup? What did you see that you didn't like?
I was actually kind of surprised that Hotform was running a Shaman deck, because I know right now everybody's saying it's the weakest class. You know, not many people are playing it. If they are, it's usually the mech variant. So I was kind of surprised that he was running a traditional control Shaman. I think that was interesting. I think it was a good choice on his part, because the board clears with Zoo coming back out. I think it counters pretty well. So I was happy to see that.
Okay. LB, for Kevin. Let's hear some positives that you liked, some negatives that you didn't like.
Guess some positioning was a little off, but good. I don't know. The turn that he went face and put him at like 2 or whatever, the first Doomguard, he could have traded.
Okay.
I guess that's debatable if the right play was to go face or not. But other than that, he played pretty well.
I think it was a really great series between the two of them. I think they both played pretty well. Kevin,
Yeah.
I like the priest deck. I like his choice in the priest deck. Zoo, I don't. I'm not 100% sold on the zoo choice. I kind of want to know what he was trying to run on the zoo, what he thought that hot form was going to bring against him. And for hot form, yeah, the shaman choice was very interesting. It wasn't conventional, so it'll actually be pretty interesting to find out from both hot form and Kevin on their deck choices what they thought. And it looks like we have both hot form and Kevin in here with us.
Hey.
So first of all, welcome, gentlemen. Great game between the both of you.
it was definitely exciting.
Yeah, I thought it was a great set. I mean, there were a lot of close games.
Yeah, it was fun.
That final game was pretty ridiculous with 2 HP
That
left.
was so
Yeah.
close.
Okay, I want to start on that final game. Cora, LB, I hope you don't mind me starting this off.
Go for
Oh,
it.
go for it.
I have to know when you decided with your Defender of Argus to kill off the Spectral Spider with just the 2 sitting on the board, and you made the choice that literally saved you the game because he had the Iron Beak Owl in hand the next turn. What made you decide that I'm going to kill this meaningless 1/1 Spectral Spider right now?
Yeah, I was thinking about it out loud. I was saying like, okay, well, if I don't attack him here, I can't actually kill him next turn. But maybe he gets something. Maybe he gets like 2 abusive sergeants, or just something crazy to kill me. So I was like, all right, we'll play it safe. And then go all the way down to 1. That was pretty clutch.
Yeah,
And
you definitely made the right choice.
Kevin was on a winning draw hot form. I don't know if you saw it or not, but once he hit that Doom Guard, if he would have hit on an abusive sergeant or power overwhelming, so he was literally down to the very last card for him to try to draw for a win, and he unfortunately hit Lotheb.
Yeah, no, that was an insanely close game. Like, it would have been so easy to go the other way with just one single card being different.
Yeah.
What was your hot form on your choice for Shaman? Like, it's not a conventional deck right now. Everybody seems really hyped up with the Lava Shock coming in and with the new 4-drop that can gain the attack. But right now, in the traditional Shaman form that you're running with the Haunted Creepers, with Flame Tongue, Lotheb, those traditional, what made you want to bring that one to this matchup? What did you think that was going to match up well with?
Honestly, I picked that Shaman deck in almost every one of my Conquest formats just because it's such a well-rounded deck. It's something that you can pick at any point in the series and expect that it has a good chance to take the match. Specifically, that deck's really good against Druid, so it would have been nice to match up against the Druid, but I missed that opportunity on my picks. It just kind of works all the time, though, so it's a solid pick.
Okay, question for both of you. And I asked this probably about 4 or 5 times. Cora and LB can attest. Both of you and your Druid have Zombie Chows in it, and both of you drew Keeper of the Groves in hand in your Druid. I was dying, hoping somebody was going to silence their own Zombie Chow to be like, you know what, I'm not giving you 5 points of health. Why did neither of you make my dream come true?
You have to assert your dominance.
Was that in the Druid vs. Druid mirror match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real way to assert your dominance is to keep her in the face. That's the real way.
I think the best way to assert dominance is I got Wild Growth at the start and he didn't, which makes a pretty big difference in that matchup.
Kevin drew into turn 18. I mean, it was
Yeah.
right there on time.
It was fabulous. It was going to win him the game.
I was waiting. I was hoping that I would get the Force of Nature. I think I had 8 cards left or something like that, and I had both Force of Natures, and I was like, please, please.
Were you running 2 in the deck?
Yeah, I was running 2.
Oh, wow.
Kevin, question that I know, Cora, I know you have the question for Kevin because you brought it up earlier, so you can go ahead and ask him.
I can't wait for this.
It's a legitimate question, Kevin. No, we actually saw you in your mulligan. You threw away the Shade of Naxxramas when you had the coin. We were just wondering what you were hoping to draw that would have accomplished more. Obviously, Wild Growth, but it's not every day you see someone throw away a Shade in their starter.
We're talking about the mirror, right?
I think
Yes.
so, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I was just looking for ramp, honestly. I had Tharsan, and I was really juggling with whether to keep that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, wait, that was the Paladin game. I'm sorry. What was my hand in the Druid game?
Yes, it was
It
actually in the
was
Paladin game because you had Zombie Chow, you had Shade, you had Emperor Thaurissan, and you also had Ancient of Lore. You threw away Ancient of Lore. And the
oh, okay.
Zombie, and you threw away the Shade, which really surprised us that you threw away Shade and
Yeah,
decided to keep Emperor.
yeah. I mean, well, with the Paladin game, I knew it was going to be such a slow match that I figured Tharsan would be a good pickup. I was kind of scared with for Shade, considering I had no other ramp. Knife jugglers and like knife juggler into muster is really scary. Even like a consecration is scary. So
mm,
I don't really like to have that card early. I was more just looking for ramp, especially since I believe I kept a Tharsan and a Chow.
Yes, you did.
yes.
So yeah, I was just trying to like find some kind of ramp somewhere.
Okay.
That
Yep.
the Paladin match got really close too. I don't know what you had in your hand at the end, but I had the second lay on hands after you had like gone all in on me with the Druid to the Claw and stuff. That
Yeah,
was really close.
I have to say that kind of broke my heart. I was like, I was ahead. I was ahead early on it, I think,
Yeah.
and I was like, all right, I can put some pressure. And I was like, he only has a certain amount of answers for me just charging him to the face. And then when I saw the second lay on hands just killed me.
It is not every day, by the way, Hotform. It is not every day. And I hope you don't mind. I'm just going to call you Dylan for, to make things simplified, if that's easier. But you don't see two lay on hands in a traditional Paladin deck a lot. What made you think of wanting the two lay on hands? Because that kind of caught all of us by surprise.
Hello,
Platform?
rest in
Hello.
pepperonis.
Oh, I guess Dylan decided to step away. But
I guess he wants to keep it his own personal secret.
okay. Well,
Gotta
we'll
respect
we'll
that.
try to get some more information from Hotform at a later time. Kevin, Dylan, if you can hear us, thank you guys both. Oh, I see in Twitch chat Hotform stream went down, so it looks like he got DC'd. So Kevin, Hotform, when you do get back on, thank you very much for joining us, guys. For everybody that is in Twitch chat currently, you may begin your round of top 16 plays. And for everybody that is left, be prepared as we will take a short little break while we get ready to start sending out, and we will be casting the next matchups coming up soon. So thanks a lot once again, Kevin and Hotform, for joining us.
Yeah, stay tuned, guys. We're gonna have some great matches coming up.